Drake, Kanye, Jay-Z, Tupac. Since hip-hop began, it's been very much a man's world.
In the second show in our series celebrating 50 years of hip-hop, we're in New York, where it all began, to look at women's role in this cultural phenomenon.
In the top 10 best-selling hip-hop artists of all time, there's one woman, Nicki Minaj. But since its early days, artists like Lil' Kim, Queen Latifah and Missy Elliott have been laying the foundations for the huge wave of female rappers breaking out 5 decades after hip-hop was created by male DJs in New York City.
Let's meet one of today's rising female stars from the Bronx.
How you feeling? We could get it shaking. It's up for whoever, it ain't no debating. I almost had it.
What's up, y'all? It's Kenzo B, and I'm an upcoming artist out the Bronx. Top 2 and I'm not too, bitch.
Since when all you bitches was tough? Let it rock, but I'm hearing enough. Now fuck y'all pussy, I'm calling y'all bluff.
At 19, Kenzo B has arrived. 1.8 million views on YouTube for her track Bump It, out last year. She grew up freestyling with her brothers. One of them is the Bronx rapper Bando, known for the local hit Talk Facts.
We in the teeth, AKA RPT, the roughest part of town.
The roughest part of the Bronx or New York?
Everywhere. The roughest part of town.
And we're in the Bronx where rap was born 50 years ago.
Yeah.
How much does that influence you? Did you grow up surrounded by rap and hip-hop?
Well, it definitely makes me proud to say I'm from the Bronx.
When did you start rapping?
I initially started when I was 7. Like, publicly, I started rapping last year. I didn't take it too seriously in the beginning. I found a beat, I wrote a song, and I just like posted it on Instagram, and then it started going crazy.
How would you describe your style?
Organic. I feel like I just try to be just me. I just rap about my emotions at the time, like when I'm writing a song, something that I feel like I'm going through that other people can relate to. One thing I learned about making music, it's not always gonna be your story that you have to tell. Like, I can tell the story of like people around me that don't make music. Like, you get what I'm saying?
And you just dropped a track. What's it called?
BFFR. Be fucking for real.
You bitches ain't safe. Y'all look stupid with a hate on y'all face. And y'all just mad a bitch done went from eating ramen to steak. Like, okay, it all depends on how you take it. Don't gotta be in a room, my name alone could get it shaken and they hate it. But I'm still getting money, can't stop me from staying pretty. I'm still a realest bitch to bring pressure up in my city. Fuck all the decoys and the bots. I'm too high up in the clouds to be arguing with bitches by the spotlight.
I haven't seen an artist spit with the fire that Kenzo does. And I think, like, she is an artist who is setting the tone for the next generation to come. Hey, this is Kathy Andely. I'm a writer, documentarian, professor, and author of God Save the Queens, The Essential History of Women in Hip-Hop. Women in hip-hop are killing it today. Like, I mean, we can start with, you know, your Nicki Minaj's, your Cardi B's, but you've got Megan Thee Stallion, you've got Lotto, Coi Leray, Lola Brooke. There are just so many incredible women from all corners of the country who are not only showing like camaraderie, but also just bringing their own unique style and sound to the forefront.
So last year you signed with Warner. How did that come about?
I was just getting like recognition for my song Bump It. I was having meetings with like, you know, record labels. I sat down with Steve-O Carls. He's the president to Warner. To me, the interview just felt so real. Like, everything that he told me could happen for me and would happen for me, I just believed it. So I signed.
And so how has life changed for you since then?
Definitely can't walk to the grocery store the same. I'm just developing as a person and overall as a brand. And I'm starting to like focus on being that person that like, you know, kids and stuff could look up to, and like having my story be the example for kids that feel like they can't not be a product of their environment. It's maturing. it's maturing me.
Just keep dumping. Ayo, let's show them who really bugging. Don't let up, don't like we can't go off for nothing. He reaching, don't play, he get hit up for bluffing.
No cap, move tack with it, talking on bro, so we up in it, flashing it. With his bitch, so you know she get smacked with it. Been on that time, they just be on that rapping shit.
So have you got fans around here? People recognize you?
Yes. It's a lot of people that like know me for real from like being in the neighborhood, and that be just proud of me too.
Rap is male-dominated historically. Did you feel that?
Yeah and no. I'm so upcoming, that's what it is. So it's like, I know I'm gonna like encounter that, but so far I haven't been in a room that they like discluded me or like counted me out. Like everybody for the most part really got faith in me. It used to be a male dominance in rap and stuff like that, but like not no more. The females is coming on a different type of time.
Who's your favorite rapper of the moment then? Who are you listening to?
Like my favorite person in the music industry right now is Rod Wave. Rod Wave is just so real. Like he just like, his music makes me want to cry. If I see him in real life, I'm gonna want to give him a hug because I'm gonna think I know what he's going through in real life. Like
that's the power of the music, isn't it?
Yes. Women-wise, I'm really feeling Omeretta. She's an Atlanta artist. We rap similar, like she gives the same vibe. Like when I hear her rap, I believe what she's saying. You could just hear her spit and you feel her.
Women have been present in hip-hop since day one. The 1973 Bronx party, where it's said to have started with DJ Kool Herc, was actually organised by his sister, Cindy Campbell. And it was a woman, Sylvia Robinson, who produced Sugar Hill Gang's hit Rapper's Delight, the first song to introduce hip-hop to the mainstream.
The hippie to the hip, the hip, hip, a hopper, you don't stop the rocker to the bang, bang, boogie, say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat.
What better place than New York's Brooklyn, the home of superstar rapper Lil' Kim, to talk about the women in hip-hop's history.
There are so many men's names that we hear in the history of hip-hop, like the notorious B.I.G., who we see behind us. But there were lots of women who mattered too, weren't there? Like who?
Absolutely. I mean, Lil' Kim is still out here killing it. Eve, still out here killing it. You have Lauryn Hill, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, the list goes on and on.
For you, who were the key players right at the beginning of hip-hop?
I think of the four matriarchs, you know, MC Sha Rock, the first female rapper, MC Debbie D and Pebbly Poo, who are both, you know, the first female MC soloists, and Lisa Lee. They were the ones who provided that starting off point to which everyone else followed.
And the first ladies of rap, Salt and Pepper. With Hot, Cool and Vicious, they were the first female hip-hop group to sell over 1 million records. And with more than 15 million records sold, they're one of the best-selling rap groups of all time.
The thing about Salt and Pepper that always sticks with me is how they existed in two different genres, because they were present on the hip-hop charts and the dance charts, and they had this like global acclaim. They were able to bring messaging into their music, so you're dancing, but you're also thinking. Songs like Let's Talk About Sex, which later became Let's Talk About AIDS, it was this means of like inserting social commentary while still kind of like bringing the party. Salt and Pepper were like the trailblazers of being able to, for women at least, have something to say in the music.
In the 80s and 90s, men dominated rap, with artists like Wu-Tang Clan, Mobb Deep, Nas, and Notorious B.I.G. But along came an alternative. Queen Latifah's feminist anthems, Ladies First and UNITY, denounced the increasing presence of aggression and misogyny in hip-hop lyrics in the early 90s. In 1995, she was the only woman nominated for Best Rap Solo Performance at the Grammys, and she won. Lil' Kim also mixed things up with her album Hardcore. She was completely unapologetic about her sex appeal, sexuality, and crucially, her femininity. In 1998, ex-Fugees star Lauryn Hill released her solo album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. At the 1999 Grammys, it was nominated for 10 awards and it won 5. The first female artist to earn that many nominations and awards in a single night. Then Missy Elliott burst onto the scene with her larger-than-life individuality and chart-topping hits. From her first album, Super Duper Fly, to her cult title Work It, she's the only woman to have 6 platinum records.
I think when it comes to Queen Latifah, Missy Elliott, and Lil' Kim, respectively, they each brought their own version of female empowerment. So Queen Latifah, arriving in the late 80s, brought a sense of female empowerment with songs like Ladies First, and then later UNITY, where it was kind of like a bold-faced, like, I'm here, you'll respect me, by any means necessary. When we get to Lil' Kim, it's more about the sex positivity and sexual freedom. And as we get to Missy Elliott, it's more of this empowerment through art, through abstract art, through being that abstract and kind of taking the music and doing new things with it as a means of expression. So it all boils down to female empowerment, but it's how they each individually express themselves.
For you, who's an expert in this field, tell us about one moment, one song, or one album that really stands out in history.
Something that completely disarmed me was Lauryn Hill's verse on Fuji La. When she just started rapping, that for me is kind of like a pivotal moment, because it was the moment where I knew in my heart that women in hip-hop were about to enter into the mainstream. And 2 years later, she did with Miseducational Lauryn Hill.
What were those lyrics that touched you so much?
Yet in saloons we drink boons and battle boons to high noon, bust rap tunes on flat spoons, take no shorts like poom pooms. Oh my God, it was so smooth. It was so smooth.
There's a lot always said about how rap is misogynistic. Would you agree with that? Have things changed? Are things better now?
Rap is a reflection of what goes on in the rest of the world. So if there's misogyny in rap, it's just a direct reflection of what society is already doing.
Nicki Minaj and Cardi B are often pigeonholed as being hypersexualized and tough. Why do you think that is?
When the phrase hypersexual, or the word hypersexual, is used to describe a woman, it's really just based upon the male gaze and their discomfort in women saying the things that men have said for years. So I wouldn't necessarily even peg them as hypersexual. I would peg them as reflection of what men were already doing. I think it's just people being uncomfortable and intimidated by the fact that women are just beating men at their own game.
Would you say that female rap is feminist?
Women in rap want whatever men have, which is equality. And so for that reason, yeah, it is feminist.
How do you see the future for female rap?
What we're seeing is women actually coming to the forefront because labels are now supporting them as acts. That in and of itself will allow for more visibility, which again has been the thing that women have been fighting for since day one.
Catch her up in the spot, I leave it where she dance at. My respect, I'm always the man that fuck with these bitches saying where they bands at. All talk like what's up with your hands at. Fuck that niggas too. Heard they bring up my name, ask that boy where the fuck is his man's at. Niggas know that I may tell him get off my dick, I can tell, but that won't bring your man's back.
How do you see your future then?
My plan is just to be rich. I just want financial stability, and if not more than that. Like, I never really wanted to be like a famous person, but I know I am one of those people that like people could connect with. My story is real relatable to a lot of like people in my generation. I did this freestyle and I said something like, I love the trenches so much. When I'm rich out the hood, I'm coming back and buying into you. As much money as I get or as much fame as I get, I'm always gonna be connected to my hood, my block, like the ghetto. Like,
good luck.
Yeah. So when next time y'all come here, I'm gonna own the buildings.
In our next programme in the series on 50 years of hip-hop from New York, we'll be talking about the fashion of this revolutionary cultural movement. And we'll meet Dapper Dan, the man who brought luxury to the hood and put hip-hop style on catwalks everywhere.
Versailles, Mont Saint-Michel, the Louvre are well-known stars of French heritage. But French genius, Anne France, harbours many other hidden treasures. The arts, gastronomy, architecture, as well as nature's wonders. Come along with France 24, discover France's living heritage. From young apprentices to accomplished craftsmen and farmers, to Michelin star sporting chefs, meet these people whose passion for their professions preserve and drive French heritage.
You are here on France 24 and France24.com.